So before starting my speech, I would like to show my gratitude toward the people who are supporting us. First of all, as for me, thank you for following this tournament. It may be a tough burden for holding all this tournament. And second of all, judges, thank you for voting us during the tournament and giving us kind reflection on each matches. And third of all, I would like to thank the members of the University of Tokyo and Tsukuba University, especially Inoue-san. And first of all, fourthly, Peace Corps, Shoji-san, Park-kyung-san, Sakaki-san. And lastly, my precious partner, Shimoda. Without you, I may not stand here. So we are UT and Tsukuba, but not legendary Yamada and Sakaki, who won NAFAT last year. However, they unfortunately did not win All Japan. Now I will win All Japan and overcome the legend Yamada and Sakaki, and we will be the legend at this time. And unfortunately, this is the last match for me, so I want to win this game and end my whole entire career as my debater. Thank you. So I would like to start my constructive speech. The order of my speech will be ground, claim, and backing. And I will show on the same flow sheet rebuttal, plan, and overview. I repeat, ground, claim, backing, rebuttal, plan, underview in the same flow sheet in this order. The Zircon did not catch it. Okay. May I start? Ground, basic point, nuclear reaction. Nuclear energy is categorized into nuclear reaction and nuclear decay. The former contains huge energy, which is used for power plants, military weapon, or space development, and latter is used for radiology to cure patients in medicine. However, in this round, we should only talk about the huge energy of nuclear reaction, because only the nuclear reaction is used in nuclear power plant, which is included in the resolution. Basic point history. 1. Until 1945, human beings had only used molecular level reaction, such as burning reaction, for cooking and thermal power plant. However, 2. In 1945, the development of nuclear energy has created enormous energy exceeding molecular level because it was needed to burn out hostile country in World War II as an atomic bomb, Turing and 2004. In 1942, Fermi successfully created the first man-made nuclear chain reaction. The Manhattan Project came into fuel here. Two types of bombs were pursued simultaneously, one made with enriched uranium and the other made with plutonium. The technology that turns weapons material into weapons is developed, unquote. However, 3. After the World War II, the extraordinary energy of nuclear reaction was used as power plants under the name of peaceful usage, but dangerous energy that can destroy the nation remained in a peaceful society. Therefore, 4, we want to doubt why such huge energy is really necessary. What problem can be the strong reason for using such huge energy except burning out country in World War II? We want to argue this necessity in this round. Go to claim. 1. Nuclear power plants can cause extraordinary catastrophe because it uses huge energy that comes from nuclear reaction. Actually, 2. In Chernobyl, major part of the European continent was contaminated and many cities and people were ruined. Professor Inaka 2004, radioactivity from Chernobyl was observed in many parts of Europe and even throughout the northern hemisphere. Residents who forcibly evacuated from the surrounding area of 30 kilometers immediately after the accident. 135,000 people, residents living in contaminated area, more than 6 million. There were reports of numerous acute radiation problems, including children. Pediatric theory cancer has started to increase rapidly in around the Chernobyl region from around 1990 as effect of radiation exposure. The incident rate over 100 times the global average has been observed. It is reasonable to think that the first cause of health deterioration is in the Chernobyl accident, unquote. Therefore, 3. When we use nuclear power plant, 100% control is necessary. However, 4. Human beings can never control nuclear power plants completely. There are 2 reasons. First one is characteristic of nuclear power. Nuclear reaction of the nuclear power can only be measured only by quantum mechanics, a theory of probability. Hence, we cannot control it perfectly because it depends on probability. The R280 quote. The uncertainty principle is also often conflicted with the idea that all scientific information has an experimental uncertainty. No matter how accurate our measuring equipment becomes, no matter how careful and diligent our researchers, how well composed our experiments, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle remains as a fundamental limit to our knowledge, unquote. Second one is characteristic of human beings. Human sometimes causes human error and makes irrational decisions based on human greed. Actually, 5. The bottom reason for Fukushima accident is not a technology immature, but a design error. Actually, 30 years ago, the error was noticed by builders, but they ignored it because they sought the perfect. Professor Yoshida 2011 quote. Some of the designers suggested that operation and sales of these defective nuclear reactors should be stopped after the basic design mistake was found out, but the company did not accept it. But after that, it was suggested to improve the gas discharge. It did not become a solution to the mistake that the basic design had. Operation and sales continued, unquote. Therefore, 6. Even if nuclear power plant technology develops, we cannot control it 100% because such human characteristics never disappear. Hence 7, we cannot control nuclear power and huge risk of nuclear energy always remains. In this sense, Japan should abandon nuclear power plants. Go to vacuum. It's a point, policy making. 1. Ordinarily, when making a policy, we have to make a responsible decision. In order to take such responsibility, we compare risk and benefit because only by this method can we take the responsibility of the outcome. For example, 2. When we use thermal power plants, even in the worst case, fire accident just occurs in the limited area. In this sense, we can predict the limit of the risk. Therefore, we can take responsibility under the comparison between risk and benefit. However, 3. As for nuclear reaction, we cannot predict the range of the risk because of the extraordinary energy nuclear reaction creates, cross-apply ground claim. Therefore, 4. We cannot compare risk and benefit of the nuclear power plant, which is necessary to take the responsibility. As a result, we have to abandon nuclear power plant immediately because we do not have the other way to take the responsibility. Hence, decision rule. NEG should show the alternative way to take the responsibility of the nuclear power plant in the policy making. Otherwise, you should vote for affirmative because only affirmative approach can achieve responsible policy making. Go to rebuttal. 1. Blackout risk exists to big extent when we use centralized electricity generation like nuclear power plant. Hence, we should use distributed generation in terms of risk management. Moreover, 2. Distributed generation has recently gained stability by the technology so-called smart grid system. Smart grid system is a system which connects consumers and suppliers via Internet of Things and controls the amount of energy supply. By connecting various types of renewable energy and controlling by IoT, we can achieve more stable electricity than nuclear power plant. Moreover, it can make huge electricity that exceeds whole demand in Japan. Professor Furukawa 2011 quote. Also, with power supply, we can diversify the risk even if the power supply is broken and the power grid network is broken. If the network type system can diversify the energy source, distribute the power supply arrangement, and mutually inter-exchange by developing a smart grid and technological innovation, the story is different. As a result, renewable energy of sunlight, wind power, small and medium hydropower, geothermal can supply 1.2 trillion kilowatt per hour by around 2025. It can compensate for the previous 390 billion kilowatt hours, and it exceeds Japan's annual electricity demand of 1 trillion kilowatt per hour. Both sunlight and wind power are likely to be able to compete with nuclear power as power generation costs are sufficiently reduced due to popularization and technological innovation. Nuclear power generation costs currently use 5.3 yen per kilowatt hour at present, but it is argued that it will be over 10 yen if costs such as spent nuclear fuel processing and risk management are entered. Wind power is already 10 yen per kilowatt hour, and NEG estimates that the cost of generating solar light will also decline to 7 yen by 2030. Other promising power sources are marine energy that is still in development stage. Ocean current power generation can be expected to produce stable and massive energy from the abundant potential of Kuroshio. Wave power generation using sea wave is also a candidate. The government supports the spread of smart grid. This will be technically possible. Supplying power meters that can change every moment according to electricity power supply and demand can be present by smart meters. The demand and supply balance will be balanced by consumers adjusting power consumption, all quote. Then plan. It's a point. Mandate. 1. Shall abandon nuclear power plant. 2. Shall use natural energy along with smart grid system. 3. Natural adjustment. Go to underview. 1. When proposing a topicality, they must show what they want to do with that topicality. Topicality without such justification is rather a reverse vote because we never know the benefit to argue about topicality by just looking at standard and validation, and it is insufficient requirement for the affirmative to respond. 2. When proposing counterplan, they must show 100% non-topicality because if counterplan includes topical error, it partially affirms the resolution, and we never know whether they have negated the resolution or not. At least such counterplan shall be the reverse vote because it affirms the resolution. That's all.
Cross-examination time by the negative. わかります。Yeah.
Sure.
Firstly, claim is upon fifth argument. You say Fukushima accident happened because of design error or something.
Of course, yes.
In terms of what kind of design such a promoter made mistake?
Okay, so first of all, the nuclear the basis of the Fukushima power plant on Fukushima is that we can avoid the risk that we never predicted before the Fukushima accident. Then we constructed the power plant. However, the basis of the construction itself, the basis of the design of the construction of the power plant itself had a mistake. Therefore, this never functioned.
Please ask my answer. What kind of design they mistake?
So the system to mitigate the risk of the nuclear accident didn't function because of the construction error of the design error.
Design of prevent tsunami or something that may be such that.
The system to mitigate the risk of nuclear power plant has been
optimistic predict exist or something.
Optimistic. I mean the design itself had a mistake.
What kind of design? Please read what evidence. I cannot understand this magic word such a design error exists or something. What kind of design error? Otherwise, we cannot do the refutation, right? Because of what is causality.
Okay, please look at your card. It says gas discharge or something, right? I believe so. The construction tried to mitigate the risk by those kind of facility or system. However, this did not function. This is fundamental design error of the nuclear power plant. I read the evidence, quote, some of the designers suggested that the company had better not to operate or sell such a nuclear reactors with a design error after error was found out, but the company ignored this error and did not accept their warning. After that, they put the gas discharge power pump reactors. Okay.
Okay. I check later. Then go to background. You say such a smart grid or something. After plan, such a smart grid system, distributed system replaced the NPP electricity or something.
I clearly said so.
Firstly, what is smart grid?
Okay, I explained the method of the smart grid system. First of all, we connect the supply and demand by using Internet of the Things, that is IoT. By connecting suppliers and demand and adjusting the amount of supply and demand, we can completely stabilize the electricity. For example, even if for example, geothermal cannot work, we can get electricity from the other power plant by using IoT.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, go to underview.
Okay.
Topicality is reverse voting issue or something.
Yes, I said so.
To some extent, I understand. Topicality is the proof burden was negative or something. Then why that become a reverse voting issue?
Because what you want to do is just showing some standard and validation is that following negative interpretation, maybe some definition can be rejected, right? Never negates the resolution itself, right? And affirmative has to correspond to such topicality, right? That is over requirement for the affirmative. Therefore, by this unfairness, negative should lose.
Reason come from over requirement. You think so?
Please show the justification why topicality can negate the resolution to do.
Okay. Ace point first is just opinion over affirmative debater. Please keep it. Then, sorry, thank you.
Preparation time for the negative.